Hello and welcome to the session on forced harmonic oscillations. The oscillations made by a particle or a system or body which are not subjected to any external forces called free oscillations or natural oscillations. Its frequency is called natural frequency gamma naught. For example, vibrations of a tuning fork, oscillations of a simple pendulum, etc. The free oscillations of the particle gradually decrease in amplitude and finally die away due to various frictional forces. But it can be made to oscillate with constant amplitude by applying a suitable external periodic force. Forced harmonic oscillations. Suppose an external periodic force which varies harmonically with time is exerted on an oscillator. At first, the body tries to vibrate with its natural frequency, while the applied force tries to drive the body with its frequency. But soon the free vibrations of the body die out and finally the body vibrates with constant amplitude with the same frequency as that of the applied force. An oscillator thus compelled to oscillate with a frequency other than the natural frequency is called forced harmonic oscillator. The oscillations made by the oscillator under the action of an external periodic force with a frequency other than the natural frequency are called forced or driven harmonic oscillations. When the frequency of the impressed force becomes equal to the natural frequency of the oscillator, the amplitude will be maximum. These oscillations are called resonant oscillations. Differential equation for a forced harmonic oscillator. A forced harmonic oscillator is under the act of the following forces. 1. A restoring force minus Cx proportional to the displacement and directed opposite to the displacement. 2. A damping force minus gamma into dx by dt proportional to the velocity and directed opposite to the velocity. And 3. External periodic force acting on the particle in the same direction as the acceleration given by F is equal to F naught into sin pt, where F naught is the maximum value of the force and the frequency of the force is p by 2 pi. Hence, the total force acting on the particle is F is equal to minus gamma into dx by dt minus Cx. But total force is equal to m into d square x by dt square, where m is the mass of the oscillator. The equation of motion can be written as m into d square x by dt square is equal to minus gamma dx by dt minus Cx plus f naught sin pt, d square x by dt square plus gamma by m into dx by dt plus Cx divided by m is equal to f naught by m into sin pt. Let gamma by m is equal to 2k, c by m is equal to omega naught square and f naught by m is equal to small f naught. Then the equation becomes d square x by dt square plus 2k dx by dt plus omega naught square x is equal to f naught sin pt. Let it be equation number 1. This is the differential equation of a forced harmonic oscillator. K is the damping constant and omega naught is the natural angular frequency of the oscillator. Omega naught is equal to 2 pi into gamma naught. Solution of the differential equation of a forced harmonic oscillator. The complete solution of equation 1 is x is equal to a naught into e raised to minus kt sin omega t plus phi plus a into sin pt minus theta. Let it be equation number 2. The first term represents the natural damped oscillations of the particle. The second term represents the forced oscillations of the particle. To begin with, both will be present. As time passes, the first term becomes 0. So, the second term represents the solution of the forced harmonic oscillations. X is equal to a into sin pt minus theta. Let it be equation number 3. Where a is the constant amplitude of the forced harmonic oscillator and theta is the phase difference between the force and the resultant displacement of the oscillator. Differentiating equation 3, we get dx by dt is equal to p into a cos pt minus theta. D square x by dt square is equal to minus p square into a sin pt minus theta. Substituting these values in equation 1, we get minus p square into a sin pt minus theta plus 2k into p into a cos pt minus theta plus omega naught square into a sin pt minus theta is equal to f naught into sin pt minus theta plus theta. A into omega naught square minus p square into sin pt minus theta plus 2 into k into p a cos pt minus theta is equal to f naught into cos theta into sin pt minus theta plus f naught into sin theta into cos pt minus theta. Let it be equation number 4. This relation holds for all values of t. So, the coefficient of sin pt minus theta and cos pt minus theta on either side of equation 4 must be equal respectively. Hence, omega naught square minus p square into a is equal to f naught cos theta, let it be equation number 5, and 2 into k into pa is equal to f naught sin theta, let it be equation number 6. Squaring equation 5 and 6 and adding, we get 4 into k square p square a square plus omega naught square minus p square the whole square into a square is equal to f naught square into sin square theta plus cos square theta, that is 4 into k square into p square plus omega naught square minus p square into a square is equal to f naught square. Therefore, a is equal to f naught divided by square root of w naught square minus p square the whole square plus 4 into k square into p square. Let it be equation number 7. Dividing equation 6 by equation 5, tan theta is equal to 2kp divided by omega naught square minus p square, or theta is equal to tan inverse of 2 into k into p divided by omega naught square minus p square. Substituting these values in equation 3, we get x is equal to f naught divided by square root of omega naught square minus p square the whole square plus 4 into k square into p square into sine of pt minus tan inverse of 2 into k into p divided by omega naught square minus p square. Let it be equation number 9. Discussion of the solution. It is assumed that the damping is low. Let us consider the different cases when omega naught is very greater than p, omega naught is equal to p, and omega naught is very less than p. Case 1. For low driving frequency, that is when omega naught is very greater than p. Tan theta tends to 0, theta tends to 0. This means the driving force and the displacement are in the same phase. The amplitude of the oscillation from equation 7 is A is equal to f naught divided by omega naught square, which is equal to f naught divided by m by c by m, which is equal to f naught divided by c. Let it be equation number 10. Hence, in this case, the amplitude does not depend on the mass of the oscillating system or damping, but it depends only on the force constant c. If the driving frequency is increased, the value of the amplitude A increases. To find the condition for maximum amplitude, equation 7 can be written as A is equal to f naught divided by square root of omega naught square minus p square minus 2k square the whole square plus 4 into k square into omega naught square minus 4 into k raised to 4. For the maximum value of A, omega naught square minus 2 into k square minus p square is equal to 0. Let p is equal to square root of omega naught square minus 2k square, which is equal to pr. Therefore, A maximum is equal to f naught divided by 2 into k into square root of omega naught square minus k square. Let it be equation number 12. Thus, for a certain value of driven frequency pr, the amplitude of the oscillating system is maximum. This phenomenon, in which the amplitude of the driven oscillator becomes maximum at a particular driven frequency, is called amplitude resonance, and this frequency is known as the resonant frequency. For a harmonic oscillator, the resonant frequency is pr divided by 2 pi, PR is the angular resonant frequency of that oscillator. The resonance frequency PR divided by 2 pi is smaller than both the natural undamped frequency omega naught by 2 pi and damped frequency omega by 2 pi is equal to square root of omega naught square minus k square by 2 pi. If the damping is low, then omega naught is equal to P and hence the amplitude A maximum is equal to F naught divided by 2k omega naught or F naught C divided by omega naught. Let it be equation number 13. So, in the case of zero damping, the amplitude should be infinity. But this is not possible as the friction on the oscillating system is never zero. If the damping is low, then ratio of the response at resonance to the response at zero driven frequency can be written as F by 2k omega naught divided by F by omega naught square, which is equal to omega naught divided by 2 into k, which is equal to omega naught into C, which is equal to Q. Thus, at resonance, this ratio is equal to the qualified factor Q of the system. Hence, we see that the damping controls the response of resonance. Case 2, when P is equal to omega naught, that is, driving frequency is equal to natural frequency. From equation 7 and 8, tan theta is equal to alpha or theta is equal to pi by 2. A is equal to F naught divided by 2 into k into omega naught, which is equal to F naught into C by omega naught, which is less than the amplitude as given by equation 12. In the case of low damping, the resonant frequency is equal to the natural frequency of the oscillator and then the amplitude is maximum. Case 3, for high driving frequency or when omega naught is very lesser than P. Tan theta is equal to minus 2 into k divided by P, that is theta tends to pi. This means forced oscillations are out of phase with the driving force. Thus, as P increases, A decreases. Variation of the amplitude A with frequency P. Variation of amplitude with frequency is as shown in figure below. As the angular frequency P is increased, the amplitude first gradually increases and at a certain value of P, the amplitude becomes maximum. For low damping, this is the condition of amplitude resonance. If P is increased further, the amplitude decreases gradually. The x coordinates corresponding to the peaks of these curves gives the resonant frequencies. For high damping, the resonant frequency PR is less than omega naught, but for low damping, the resonant frequency is nearly equal to the natural frequency omega naught. From the graph, it can be seen that for low damping, the height of the peaks become greater and when the damping is 0, which is the ideal case, the height of the peak becomes infinity. This means the maximum amplitude is infinity if there is no damping. Variation of phase with frequency. From equations 7 and 8, it can be seen that the amplitude A lags behind the driving force by a phase angle theta, which depends upon damping and the relative values of omega naught and P. The value of theta increases from 0 to pi and it is always positive. So, the resulting displacement of the oscillator always lags in phase from the driven force. The variation of the phase difference theta with the frequency P is as shown in figure below. Sharpness of resonance. During forced oscillations, we have seen that the amplitude of the oscillating system is maximum at resonance. On either side of this maximum, the amplitude decreases with change in frequency as shown in figure below. Curve 1 is for low damping and curve 2 is for high damping. The rate of fall in the amplitude with change in forcing frequency on each side of the resonance frequency is called the sharpness of resonance. Sharpness varies inversely as the damping factor. When the damping is low, the amplitude decreases rapidly on either side of the resonance frequency. Then the resonance is said to be sharp. For example, the resonance of sonometer wire with a tuning fork. Here damping is small and the resonance is sharp. So the length of the wire can be adjusted accurately. When damping is high, the amplitude, that is response, decreases very slowly on either side of the resonant frequency and the resonance is said to be flat. For example, resonance column. In this case, the air column responds with tuning fork for a wide range of the length of air column. Hence, it is difficult to get an accurate value of the resonant length. If an oscillator has a sharp resonance, it has good selectivity. This principle is used in electronics, reception of radio waves, and also in acoustics. Half width of resonance curve. Let pH be the value of angular frequency when the amplitude falls to half the value at resonance. Then the change in angular frequency delta p is called the half width of the resonance curve. Half width delta p is equal to modulus of pH minus PR. At resonance, A maximum is equal to F naught divided by 2 into k into square root of omega naught square minus k square. Let it be equation number 1. A maximum is equal to F naught divided by square root of 4 into k square into omega naught square minus 4 into k raised to 4. At the frequency pH, the amplitude is A maximum divided by 2. A maximum divided by 2 is equal to F naught divided by square root of omega naught square minus 2 into k square minus pH square, the whole square, plus 4 into k square into omega naught square minus 4 into k raised to 4. Let it be equation number 3. From equations 2 and 3, we get omega naught square minus 2 into k square minus pH square plus 4 into k square into omega naught square minus 4 into k raised to 4, which is equal to 4 into k square into omega naught square minus 4 into k raised to 4. But PR square is equal to omega naught square minus 2 into k square. PR square minus pH square, the whole square, is equal to 3 into 4 into k square omega naught square minus 4 into k raised to 4, which is equal to 3 into 4 into k square into PR square plus 4 into k raised to 4. If damping is small, 4 into k raised to 4 is negligible. Then PR square minus pH square is equal to plus or minus square root of 3 into 2 into k into PR. That is, pH square is equal to PR square plus or minus square root of 3 into 2 into PR into k. pH is equal to PR into 1 plus or minus square root of 3 into 2 into k divided by PR, the whole raised to 1 by 2, which is equal to PR into 1 plus or minus square root of 3 into k by PR, which is equal to PR plus or minus square root of 3 into k. Half width of resonance curve delta p is equal to modulus of pH minus PR is equal to square root of 3 into k. Velocity resonance. The displacement of the driven oscillator is x is equal to a into sin pt minus theta. Differentiating, velocity v is equal to dx by dt, which is equal to f naught into p divided by square root of omega naught square minus p square, the whole square, plus 9 into k square into p square into cos pt minus theta, which is equal to v naught into sin pt minus theta plus pi by 2. Let it be equation number 6. V naught is equal to f naught into p divided by square root of omega naught square minus p square, the whole square, plus 4 into k square into p square, which is equal to f naught divided by square root of p minus omega naught by p, the whole square, plus 4 into k square. Theta is equal to tan inverse of 2 into k into p divided by omega naught square minus p square. The velocity amplitude v naught varies with the driven frequency p as shown in figure 1. When p is equal to 0, v naught is equal to 0, and when p is equal to omega naught, v naught attains the maximum value. Hence, at the frequency of the impressed force P is equal to omega naught, the velocity has the maximum value and we call it velocity resonance. The velocity amplitude is smaller than that at P is equal to omega naught when P is very greater than omega naught. At resonance, theta is equal to tan inverse of 2 into k into P divided by 0, which is equal to pi by 2. Therefore, velocity phase constant is equal to minus theta plus pi by 2 is equal to minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2 is equal to 0. When the velocity of a forced oscillator becomes a maximum, it is called velocity resonance. The average energy of the oscillator is maximum and hence it is also called energy resonance. At velocity resonance, the forcing frequency is equal to the natural frequency of the oscillator. The velocity of the forced oscillator and the applied force are in phase. Hence, it can be transferred from the external agency to the oscillator easily. Power absorption. In most of the problems connected with forced harmonic oscillations, instead of finding displacement of the oscillator from the equilibrium position, we are interested in finding the energy absorbed by the oscillator to maintain its motion. In the presence of damping forces, the oscillator loses energy in doing work the forces. Thus, there is a regular dissipation of energy of the harmonic oscillator. For maintaining amplitude, energy is supplied by the periodic impressed force. The energy supplied dE by the driving force F during small interval of time dt will be equal to the work done F dx on the oscillator by the external force. If dx is the displacement during an interval dt, dE is equal to f dot dx, which is equal to f into dx by dt into dt, or dE by dt is equal to p into dx by dt. Let it be equation number 7. Therefore, f is equal to m into f naught into sin pt and dx by dt is equal to p into f naught into cos pt minus theta divided by square root of omega naught square minus p square the whole square plus 4 into k square into p square. The energy absorbed by the oscillatory system at any instant is P is equal to dE by df, which is equal to f into dx by dt, which is equal to m into f naught into sin pt into p into f naught into cos pt minus theta divided by square root of omega naught square minus p square the whole square plus 4k square p square. Let it be equation number 8. The average power absorbed is P average is equal to f into dx by dt average, which is equal to m into f naught square into p divided by square root of omega naught square minus p square the whole square plus 4 into k square into p square into sin pt into cos pt minus theta. Let it be equation number 9. The average value of sin pt into cos pt minus theta for one period t or 2 pi by omega is equal to 1 by t into integral from 0 to t sin pt into cos pt minus theta dt, which is equal to 1 by t into integral from 0 to t 1 by 2 into sin 2 pt minus theta minus sin theta dt, which is equal to sin theta divided by 2, which is equal to 1 by 2 into k into p divided by square root of omega naught square minus p square the whole square plus 4 into k square into p square. P average is equal to 1 by 2 into m into f naught square into 2k into p square divided by omega naught square minus p square the whole square plus 4 into k square into p square. Let it be equation number 10. But v naught square is equal to f naught square into p square divided by omega naught square minus p square the whole square plus 4k square p square. P average is equal to m into k into v naught square is equal to m into v naught square divided by 2c or v into v naught square divided by 2. Let it be equation number 11. From equation 10, it can be seen that when p is equal to omega naught, the absorbed average power is maximum and is equal to 1 by 4 into m into f naught square divided by k or 1 by 2 into m into f naught square into c. Hence, the power absorbed is maximum at the frequency amplitude resonance. Once the steady state is attained, the average power dissipated by the oscillator should be same as the average power supplied by the driving force. Half width. The change in the value of the driving frequency P, for which the average power absorbed by the forced oscillator falls from its maximum value P maximum to half this value, is called the half width of the average power absorbed versus driving frequency curve, denoted by delta P. The maximum value of average power absorbed is equal to P maximum is equal to 1 by 4 into m into f naught square divided by k at resonance frequency. Let us find the frequency at which this power equals the average power absorbed. P maximum divided by 2 is equal to P average using equation 10. 1 by 2 into m into f naught square divided by 4 into k is equal to 1 by 2 into m into f naught square into 2 into k into p square divided by omega naught square minus p square plus 4 into k square into p square. Let it be equation number 12. 8 k square into p square is equal to omega naught square minus p square the whole square plus 4 into k square into p square. Omega naught square minus p square is equal to plus or minus 2 into k into p. Omega naught minus p is equal to plus or minus 2 into k into p divided by omega naught plus p is equal to plus or minus 2 into k divided by 1 plus omega naught by p, which is approximately equal to plus or minus k or 1 by 2 pi. Here it is assumed that omega naught by p is equal to 1 approximately. Therefore, half width of the power versus frequency curve delta p is equal to omega naught minus p is equal to k or 1 by 2c. Full width is equal to 2 times delta p. So, q is equal to omega naught into c is equal to omega naught divided by 2 into delta p, which is equal to frequency of resonance divided by full width of the resonance curve at half maximum power. Q factor of the forced oscillator. Q factor of a forced harmonic oscillator is the ratio of 2 pi times the average energy stored to the average energy loss per period. Q is equal to 2 pi into average energy stored divided by energy dissipated per period, which is equal to E average divided by P average into T. But any instant, the stored energy of the oscillator is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy, which is equal to 1 by 2 into m into dx by dt the whole square plus 1 by 2 into c into x square, which is equal to 1 by 2 into m into p square into a square into cos square pt minus theta plus 1 by 2 into m into omega naught square into a square into sin square pt minus theta. Rate of dissipation of energy is equal to gamma into dx by dt into dx by dt. Therefore, dissipative force at the displacement x is equal to gamma into dx by dt. Therefore, stored energy divided by period into rate of loss of energy is equal to 1 by 2 into m into dx by dt the whole square plus 1 by 2 into c into x square, all divided by t into gamma dx by dt into dx by dt, which is equal to 1 by 2 m p square into a square cos square pt minus theta plus 1 by 2 m naught square omega square into a square into sin square pt minus theta, all divided by 2 pi by p into m by c into p square a square cos square pt minus theta. As the average value of cos square pt minus theta or sin square pt minus theta for a period is 1 by 2. Q is equal to 2 pi into 1 by 4 into p square into a square plus 1 by 4 into omega naught square into a square, all divided by 2 pi by p into p square by c into a square by 2, which is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 plus omega naught by p the whole square into p into c. Let it be equation number 15. At or near resonance, p is equal to omega naught. We see that q is equal to omega naught into c. For low damping, q will be high. Thus, quality factor is a measure of sharpness of resonance. Let me summarize this session. An oscillator compelled to oscillate with a frequency other than its natural frequency is called forced harmonic oscillator. The oscillations made by the oscillator under the action of an external periodic force with a frequency other than the natural frequency are called forced harmonic oscillations. A forced harmonic oscillator is under the action of a restoring force minus Cx proportional to the displacement and directed opposite to the displacement, and a damping force minus gamma dx by dt, proportional to the velocity as directed opposite to the velocity, and an external periodic force acting in the same direction as acceleration. During forced oscillations, the amplitude of the oscillating system is maximum at resonance. Q factor of a forced harmonic oscillator is the ratio of 2 pi times the average energy stored to the average energy loss per period. Now you can try to answer the questions given here. First one, what is resonance? Explain sharpness of resonance. Second one, obtain an expression for the half width of resonance curve. Third one, draw graphs showing the variation of amplitude of forced harmonic oscillator with frequency when damping is A low and B high. Fourth one, discuss power absorption in forced harmonic oscillation and show that the power absorbed is maximum at the frequency of velocity resonance. Fifth one, discuss the solution of differential equation of a forced harmonic oscillator for the case P is equal to omega naught. Now you can refer the books for further understanding. First one, Physics for Scientists and Engineers, Volume 1, 4th edition by Tipler Paul, 1998, W. H. Freeman. Second one, Physics for Scientists and Engineers by Raymond S. Survey, John W. Jewett, 2003. And third one, Vibrations and Waves by Benjamin Crowell, 2006. Hope that you have enjoyed this session. We can meet again with another topic. Till then, take care.